Just one very quick note that I wanted to add before the video that you're about to watch, and that is that I've received quite a few new subscribers lately, and I just wanted to say thanks for that. I am sorry that I neglected to do that during the video that you're about to see. I intended to, and I should write things down. I just forgot. But anyway, it's great to see those subscribers. I really appreciate it, and it's very good to know that you're enjoying what I'm doing here, because as I've said in some of the videos, it's just nice to know that I'm not sitting in my basement talking to myself. So it's a great community. I appreciate your guys' interest and continued interaction. So thank you, and have a great weekend, and I hope you enjoy the chat. Good Saturday morning, friends, and welcome. I just wanted to check in and make a relatively quick video this morning. I wanted to update you on my quest for the 2015 Christmas blend. And it's funny, I started off this channel saying I wouldn't be doing any tobacco reviews because I just don't think I have much to add in that realm. And here I am on my second tobacco review. I don't really consider this a review, though. I'm just kind of giving you my impressions of it, and I'm in a process of trying to find a blend that I'm going to call a Christmas blend, hopefully for years to come now. So that's, I'm just letting you join me in that process, not necessarily trying to give you expert advice on any tobacco, because I'm not the guy to do that. So last week I talked about Black Frigate, and I've continued to smoke Black Frigate during the week. It's fantastic. I really enjoy that blend, the Cornell and Deal Black Frigate. It does have this really nice rum flavoring that seems to persist through the bowl. It's not a goopy aromatic. It's just a rum-infused tobacco, and it's got that great sort of mellow Latakia English nature to it. So it's very good. One thing I will say is that if you do decide to try Black Frigate, resist the temptation to cut the block up and rub out the entire tin, because it does seem, when I've rubbed out extra, the second bowl, a day later or so, did not have as much of that rum quality. So the rum does dissipate quite a bit once the block is broken up. So I'd recommend jarring the block and just cutting as much as you're going to need for any given bowl. Anyway, today what I'm smoking right now is J.F. Germain's Plum Cake Mixture. And I mentioned this last week, and I wanted to do a comparison, well, not really a comparison, but I had previously had both the McBaron Plum Cake, which is an excellent blend, and I've had this in the past, but it's been several years, and again, I'm looking for something that sort of inspires that Christmas season feeling in me. So I wanted to try something different from the McBaron Plum Cake, which is in many ways similar, although certainly a different beast, but similar to the Black Frigate. And the Germain Plum Cake is a very unique tobacco, and it's definitely not similar to McBaron Plum Cake. So I'm smoking this in a little no-name billiard basket pipe that I picked up at JR Cigars a few years back. It's one of my weekend knock-around pipes, and it does just fine. So Plum Cake, just telling you what the label says here, it's Cavendish, Virginia, and air-cured tobaccos blended with a special black Cavendish, flavored with wine and spices to our 80-year-old recipe. So it's Virginia's, Cavendish, and whatever air-cured tobaccos might be. And there are definitely spices and a wine topping on this. When you open it, the tin note is very, very much wine and anise. And other spices in the background, they're just harder to separate, but that anise note is very, very strong on the tin, to me. The tobacco itself, comes packed in this wax paper. You can see there's some staining on the paper, and it's really a beautiful presentation. It is a sort of a pressed, I won't say it's a pressed block because it's not, but it's pressed into the tin quite densely. And the tobacco itself is a very fine shag cut ribbon with these little bits of what I'm presuming are the black Cavendish mixed in. and a more coarse chop, and you get an occasional larger leaf in there, but for the most part this is a very, very fine shag. And that means that it's actually quite good at holding the flavoring because it's got a lot of surface area for that to get in there. But it's also going to burn very efficiently. And therefore you have to be careful with this blend. If you smoke it too fast, it's going to get really hot and you're going to lose the flavor. And your pipe's going to get hot. The flavor is unique, and I'm going to talk about the flavoring first over the tobaccos, because really this blend is, to me, more about the flavoring than about the tobacco. When you first light it, the initial notes, you don't really get any anise, although it's very prominent in the smell. I get that sort of plummy, winey flavor right on the top. And then there's a lot of citrusy notes, not Virginia citrusy, but actual like orange and lemon zest notes coming through. And that continues throughout the bowl along with the wine. There's also, at the outset, a really interesting flavor that it's like a peppery, somewhat anisey flavor, although anise is not the right word for it. If you've ever had a good traditional Pfeffernussen, which is a German cookie, they're these little round powdered sugar covered cookies. It's very reminiscent of that. It's not sweet though. It's a deeper flavor, and but it's definitely got that sort of peppery edge to it. It's a spice though. It's not a tobacco flavor. And the reason I'm focusing on the flavoring notes rather than the tobacco is that as I move into talking about the tobacco, there is not a lot going on in terms of tobacco in this blend. It's a Virginia blend. It definitely has some Cavendish in it, but it's a very mild tobacco. It's not bad. There's nothing offensive about it. It's just very straight, consistent, mild tobacco. If this didn't have the flavoring in it, you'd probably think it was bland, or you'd think it would be a great all-day smoke for just kind of mindlessly going about your business and having something to puff on. But there's nothing exciting here in terms of tobacco to my palate. I think this would really benefit for me with a touch of Latakia, and I may actually try adding some Latakia just to see how that fares. But otherwise, it's just the tobacco is providing a canvas for the flavorings. The flavorings are nice. They're natural. There's no goopiness to this. There's no. It's a bit moist out of the tin, but I packed it and smoked it without drying. I don't typically dry tobaccos unless they're ropes and they really need to be dried to light. So the actual flavoring, it doesn't seem to have a lot of chemical notes to it. It's very, very good. It's very natural flavoring. There's a bit of a hint of a floral note to this, which is probably coming from its Lakeland province, but it's not offensive to me, and it's not something that I worry about ghosting the pipe. So it remains fairly consistent. The flavoring does last all the way to the bottom of the bowl, which is nice. About past the midway point, maybe in like the last third of the bowl, something very nice happens, and I'm not sure what's going on, but there's a combination probably of some caramelization in the tobacco and the spices melding, but there's some like spicy, caramely, deep sweetness that develops at the very bottom of this that I'm really enjoying. And that's been pretty consistent throughout the bowls. This is probably I haven't counted, but I'm probably up to 9 or 10 bowls of this now. Now I've smoked it alongside a Black Frigate, which they're two completely different animals. I'm only comparing them because I want to choose one as a Christmas blend. This is a nice tobacco. This is not something I would smoke every day. It's not something that I would likely keep in my rotation all the time, but as an occasional sort of departure from the norm, I think that Germain's plum cake is really quite good. And if you're afraid of Lakelands, as frankly I am, this is one that would probably be a reasonable one to try. Again, I'm not getting any strong Lakeland essence in this. I'm not worried about it ghosting the pipe, and it's unique. It's definitely worth a try. It does not, in my opinion, rise above the Black Frigate right now. So of the two tobaccos that I've smoked so far, Black Frigate is still in the running for my choice of a Christmas blend. I've got one more to go, which I will talk about next week, and that is the GLP's Virginia Cream. I have not opened this tin yet. I'll probably open that up either tomorrow evening or Monday and kind of do a three-way comparison for you next week. Comparison's not the right word because they're all very, very different blends, but choosing one of those three. Anyway, that's it for the tobacco. I just wanted to give you a couple of other quick updates. So I've got some new lights. I hope you can tell because frankly I feel like I'm being blinded. If they get any brighter, I'm going to need to get sunglasses to do these videos. The main reason I went with the brighter light was for my videos where I'm shooting downward. The lighting on those has admittedly been quite bad, and I wanted to improve that so that when you're watching them you're not struggling. So we'll see how they work out. I don't have any of the new lights in the LJ Peretti video, which just has recently started, but I will have them in the videos going forward from there, so hopefully you'll notice a difference. The other bit of news is I bought this guy, and this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. This is a pipe kit. It's a block of briar that's been pre-drilled, in this case for a straight. I've got the stem here, but it's all wrapped up in plastic. Oh, came off easily. So got a nice molded stem, so it's going to require quite a bit of work to get it into shape, and a block that this will not fit in because it almost fits because it's oversized a bit so that I can fit it. And this is, I'm thinking of a billiard shape. It's pretty classic shape, one that I like. I've tried this before. Oh boy, back in the mid-90s I think I purchased a pipe kit from a company called Pimo, P-I-M-O, and they're still in business. Very nice kit. At the time I was a starving postdoc student, and I would sit out on my apartment patio with a Dremel tool trying to slowly grind away the briar, and after doing that for I don't know, a couple of months, I had something that people would look at and think, oh, he might be trying to make a pipe. And then I moved, and unfortunately in the move it got into a box somewhere, and I probably still have it, but I never finished it, and that was many years ago. So I'm hoping to be able to spend a bit more time on this and actually produce something that maybe I'll even be willing to show someone. I'm not going to do videos on the process. I'm too new to this. This is the first time I'm going to really seriously try to make a pipe from briar. But I'll keep you updated. I'll show you as I go along what the process is producing, and if I hit any snags, I'll tell you about them. So maybe you'll be interested in trying it yourself. So that's news. The lights are new, and hopefully they're making things a little bit clearer. And that's really about it. Today my wife is insisting that we do the outdoor decorating, which I like the idea of having decorations outdoors, and I like seeing them, but I sure hate putting them up, and I hate taking them down even more. Anyway, with that I'll leave you. So take care. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any comments, or if you've tried plum cake or would like to try it, let me know. I'd like to hear about that. And I will talk to you again soon. Thank you.